Okay, here we're being asked to multiply two binomials. You notice two binomials. We have a x plus 7, there's two terms there, times an x minus 2, two terms there. So when you're doing a problem like this, most students have heard this acronym before. It's overused. I don't like to use it. I refer to it, but I don't want you to get hooked on it. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last, and I'll show you what that means here. But the short way of explaining how to multiply two binomials is basically distribute each of these terms. So imagine if I were to just hide this 7 for now. Think of it as we're going to multiply x times both of those terms over there, and then we're going to multiply the 7 times both of those terms over there. That's all it is. You're just distributing both terms here times both terms there. And we write each product as we go. So typically it's done like this. We take x times x and we write that down. X times x is x squared. X times another x, you're just taking x twice, so x squared. Then x times a minus 2. That would be minus 2x. That's done. We're done multiplying this x times all those terms. So now we start multiplying this 7. But try to think of it as a plus 7. It makes it easier. Plus 7 times x would be plus 7x. And keep in mind, this is multiplication. We are multiplying all these terms. And plus 7 times a minus 2. Positive times a negative, and that's a negative or a subtraction of 14. So that's how you multiply there. You distribute each term like if it was monomials. You ignore this one, distribute that. Ignore that one, distribute this. Now what you'll notice is after you do that, you will be able to simplify and combine like terms. So now we have one big polynomial, x squared minus 2x plus 7x minus 14. But more often than not, the two middle terms can combine. That x squared term in the front will not combine with anything. But when you combine these two terms, minus 2x plus 7x, keep in mind we're not multiplying anymore. We already multiplied up here. We're just combining these x's. So the signs are different, so we subtract and keep the larger sign. It would be plus 5. Or if you're subtracting 2x but adding 7x, it's the same thing as adding 5x. Keep in mind, it's still x. It's not x squared. It's a common mistake. We're not multiplying these two. If we were multiplying an x and an x, it would be an x squared. That's what x squared means, x times an x. Like we did here when we were multiplying. At this point, we're just grouping our like terms. We bring that 14 down, and that remains minus 14. So you notice at this point, that's our final answer because we cannot combine any other terms. Most teachers or tutors will call this the FOIL method because of what I just said. You multiply the first two, then the outer two, which to me is just these two on the outside, then the inner two, which is 7 times x, and then the last two, 7 times minus 2. I don't like to think of that. I just distribute each one and you're good to go. Let's do the next one. 2x minus 5 times x plus 1. We start by multiplying 2x, this term, times both of those terms. Distributing 2x times x, that would be a 2x squared. X times an x is going to be an x squared. 2x times a plus 1 would be a plus 2x. You're done with that. Now you got to distribute this minus 5. We've got to multiply the minus 5. This is multiplication, so everything's got to multiply by everything. Minus 5 times x would be a minus 5x. And a minus 5 times a 1 would be a minus 5. When I'm drawing these arrows, I want you to understand that we're multiplying. Now that the multiplying is over, comes the simplifying, combining what we can. So we leave the 2x squared alone. If we combine or group these two x's together, again, they're not the same sign, so we're going to subtract, which is 3, and the larger is a minus. Adding 2 and subtracting 5, or 2 minus 5 is negative 3, however you want to view it. It's x minus 5. We'll do a few more in the next video.